The morning sun filters through the tall windows of Windsor Castle as members of the British royal family begin another day of public service. This is not the fairy tale version of royal life that fills storybooks and movies. Instead, it represents a carefully orchestrated balance between preserving ancient traditions and meeting the evolving needs of a modern democratic society. The reality of royal life involves thousands of public engagements each year, countless hours of preparation, and a deep commitment to serving the British people and the Commonwealth nations. The concept of royal public duty has evolved dramatically over the centuries. In medieval times, monarchs ruled through divine right, making decisions that affected millions with little input from their subjects. Today's royal family operates under a constitutional monarchy where the sovereign reigns but does not rule. This fundamental shift has transformed the role of royals from rulers to servants of the public good. They have become ambassadors for British values, champions of charitable causes, and symbols of national unity during times of celebration and crisis. Understanding this transformation requires examining how royal duties are structured and executed. The monarch, currently King Charles III, serves as the head of state, performing constitutional duties that include the state opening of Parliament, giving royal assent to legislation, and meeting with government officials. These responsibilities form the backbone of the constitutional monarchy system, ensuring that democratic processes continue while maintaining the ceremonial aspects that connect Britain to its historical roots. Below the monarch, other senior royals carry out what are known as royal engagements. These activities range from visiting hospitals and schools to attending charity galas and opening new facilities. Each engagement serves multiple purposes, supporting worthy causes, maintaining public connection with the royal family, and demonstrating the monarchy's commitment to serving all segments of society. The Princess of Wales might spend her morning visiting a children's hospital, her afternoon attending a mental health awareness event, and her evening hosting a reception for military families. The process of organizing these engagements involves extensive planning and coordination. Royal household staff work months in advance to schedule visits, ensuring that each appearance serves both the host organization and the broader public interest. Security considerations, media arrangements, and protocol requirements must all be carefully managed. A single royal visit can require hundreds of hours of preparation from dozens of people, reflecting the serious approach the royal family takes toward their public responsibilities. Training for royal duties begins early, though the approach has modernized significantly in recent generations. Young royals learn about public speaking, protocol, and the history behind various ceremonies and traditions. They study the organizations they will support and the issues facing modern Britain. This preparation extends beyond formal education to include practical experience. Junior royals often accompany senior family members to events, observing how to interact with the public, handle media attention, and represent the crown with dignity and effectiveness. The charitable aspect of royal work represents perhaps the most visible element of modern royal duty. Senior royals serve as patrons for hundreds of charities and organizations, lending their status and influence to causes ranging from environmental conservation to support for veterans. The Prince of Wales has long championed environmental causes, using his platform to raise awareness about climate change and sustainable practices. The Princess of Wales focuses heavily on early childhood development and mental health initiatives. These patronages are not merely ceremonial, they involve substantial time commitments and genuine engagement with the work of these organizations. Royal patronage can transform the fortunes of charitable organizations. When a senior royal becomes associated with a cause, it typically brings increased media attention, higher profile events, and greater fundraising success. However, this influence comes with responsibilities. Royals must be well informed about the organizations they support, understanding their missions, challenges, and achievements. They cannot simply lend their names, they must be active and informed advocates. The international dimension of royal duties adds another layer of complexity and importance to their work. State visits, both incoming and outgoing, serve crucial diplomatic functions. When foreign heads of state visit Britain, elaborate ceremonies and banquets hosted by the royal family help strengthen international relationships and promote British interests abroad. Similarly, when British royals travel overseas, they serve as ambassadors for British culture, values, and commerce. These diplomatic duties require extensive preparation and cultural sensitivity. Royals must understand the customs, history, and current political situations of the countries they visit. They must navigate complex international relationships while maintaining political neutrality, a particularly challenging balance in an increasingly polarized global environment. The success of these visits often depends on the personal relationships royals can build with their international counterparts, demonstrating the human element that remains central to diplomacy despite technological advances. The role of tradition in royal duties cannot be understated. Many royal activities follow protocols established centuries ago, yet they must be adapted to contemporary contexts. The state opening of Parliament exemplifies this balance. The ceremony includes elements dating back to medieval times, including the searching of the Palace of Westminster cellars in remembrance of the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Yet the event also incorporates modern security measures and media coverage that would have been unimaginable to earlier generations. This blend of old and new extends to royal dress codes, which must respect tradition while acknowledging contemporary fashion and practicality. Royal women often wear hats to daytime events, following customs that emphasize modesty and formality. However, their choices of designers, colors, and styles send messages about British fashion and can have significant economic impact on the clothing industry. The phenomenon known as the Kate effect demonstrates how royal fashion choices can drive consumer spending and international interest in British designers. The media's role in covering royal duties has evolved dramatically with technological advancement. Where once royal activities were documented by a small group of court correspondents, today's royals operate in an environment of constant media scrutiny and social media coverage. Every public appearance is photographed, analyzed, and discussed across multiple platforms. This attention brings both opportunities and challenges. Greater visibility can amplify the impact of royal charitable work and public service, but it also means that every gesture, expression, and wardrobe choice is subject to intense scrutiny. Royal households have adapted by developing sophisticated media strategies. They work closely with traditional media outlets while also embracing social media platforms to communicate directly with the public. Official royal social media accounts provide behind-the-scenes glimpses of royal work, share information about charitable causes, and allow for more personal connection with supporters. This direct communication represents a significant departure from historical royal practice, where interaction with subjects was highly formal and limited. The economic impact of royal activities extends far beyond the direct costs of maintaining the monarchy. Royal visits can boost local economies through increased tourism and media attention. The presence of royals at cultural events, sporting competitions, and business functions helps promote British interests internationally. Royal weddings and major celebrations generate enormous economic activity through tourism, merchandise sales, and media coverage. These economic benefits factor into public discussions about the value and relevance of the monarchy in contemporary society. Training the next generation of royals involves balancing preparation for public duties with the desire for normal childhood and educational experiences. Young royals attend regular schools when possible, participate in extracurricular activities, and are encouraged to develop their own interests and talents. However, they also receive instruction in royal protocol, public speaking, and the history and significance of royal traditions. This dual education aims to prepare them for future responsibilities while allowing them to develop as individuals. The question of relevance continues to shape how royal duties are structured and performed. Public opinion polls regularly assess the monarchy's popularity and the perceived value of royal work. Younger generations, in particular, often question the necessity of inherited privilege in democratic societies. The royal family has responded by emphasizing their service role, highlighting the charitable and diplomatic work they perform, and demonstrating their commitment to issues that matter to contemporary British society. Modern royal duties also involve addressing social issues that previous generations might have avoided. Mental health awareness, domestic violence, homelessness, and inequality are all topics that today's royals engage with directly. This approach reflects broader changes in social attitudes and expectations of public figures. Royals are expected to use their platforms not just for ceremonial purposes but to advocate for positive social change and support for vulnerable populations. The Commonwealth dimension of royal duties adds global significance to their work. As head of the Commonwealth, the monarch and other senior royals maintain relationships with dozens of nations that were once part of the British Empire. These relationships require delicate navigation of historical sensitivities while promoting cooperation and shared values. Commonwealth Day celebrations, royal visits to member nations, and support for Commonwealth organizations represent important aspects of contemporary royal duty. Environmental advocacy has become increasingly central to royal public service, reflecting growing public concern about climate change and environmental degradation. The current monarch has been a vocal environmental advocate for decades, long before such positions became mainstream. This early adoption of environmental causes demonstrates how royal influence can help bring important issues to public attention. Today's environmental royal work includes supporting renewable energy projects, promoting sustainable agriculture, and advocating for conservation efforts worldwide. The balance between public service and personal life remains a constant challenge for royal family members. Unlike elected officials who serve defined terms, royals are born into their roles and serve for life. This reality requires careful management of public expectations while maintaining family relationships and personal well-being. The tragic death of Princess Diana highlighted the potential dangers of intense media scrutiny, leading to changes in how the royal family manages public engagement and media relations. Technology continues to reshape royal duties in fundamental ways. Virtual engagements, which became necessary during the COVID-19 pandemic, have opened new possibilities for royal interaction with the public. Online events allow royals to connect with people who might never attend traditional in-person engagements due to geographical or accessibility barriers. However, technology also presents new challenges, from managing online criticism to ensuring digital security for royal communications. The magnificent sound of trumpets echoes through Westminster Abbey as hundreds of guests rise in unison. This scene, repeated countless times throughout British history, represents the enduring power of royal ceremony to unite, inspire, and maintain cultural continuity. State occasions and ceremonial traditions form the most visible aspect of royal life, creating moments of national unity while preserving customs that connect modern Britain to its historical roots. These events require months of meticulous planning, involve hundreds of participants, and demonstrate the monarchy's role as guardian of national traditions. The coronation stands as the ultimate royal ceremony, occurring only once per reign and representing the formal investiture of a new monarch. The most recent coronation of King Charles III in May 2023 exemplified how ancient traditions adapt to contemporary contexts. While maintaining essential elements dating back over 1,000 years, the ceremony incorporated modern sensibilities about inclusion, environmental awareness, and global representation. The service included multiple languages reflecting Britain's diverse population, used sustainable materials where possible, and was broadcast to a global audience of millions. Preparing for a coronation involves years of planning and coordination among multiple organizations. The Earl Marshal, a hereditary position currently held by the Duke of Norfolk, oversees the entire event. Military units from across the Commonwealth participate in processions and ceremonial duties. Musicians, florists, tailors, and craftspeople contribute their expertise to create an event of unparalleled grandeur. The coronation regalia, including the crown jewels, must be carefully prepared and transported under extraordinary security measures. The symbolism embedded in coronation ceremonies connects the monarchy to both religious and secular authority. The anointing with holy oil represents the sacred aspect of kingship, while the presentation of various regalia symbolizes different aspects of royal responsibility. The orb represents earthly power under divine authority, while the scepter symbolizes temporal authority. These ancient symbols continue to carry meaning in contemporary ceremonies, reminding participants and observers of the solemn responsibilities that accompany royal position. State visits represent another crucial category of royal ceremony, serving important diplomatic functions while showcasing British hospitality and cultural achievements. When foreign heads of state visit Britain, they receive formal welcomes that follow protocols refined over generations. Horse Guards Parade serves as the venue for arrival ceremonies, where visiting dignitaries receive military honors and inspect ceremonial guards. These events demonstrate British respect for international guests while displaying the monarchy's continuing role in diplomacy. The logistics of state visits involve coordination among multiple government departments, royal households, and security agencies. Advance teams spend months planning every detail, from transportation routes to menu selections for state banquets. Cultural considerations play crucial roles in these preparations, as hosts must demonstrate understanding of guests' customs, dietary requirements, and religious practices. The success of state visits often depends on these careful preparations and the personal relationships that develop between royal hosts and their international guests. State banquets at Buckingham Palace represent the pinnacle of royal hospitality, combining centuries-old traditions with contemporary diplomatic requirements. The ballroom transforms into an elegant dining space featuring priceless artwork, elaborate floral arrangements, and place settings using the finest china and silver. The Royal Collection provides backdrops that impress international guests while showcasing British cultural treasures. Guests dine on carefully planned menus that often incorporate dishes from the visiting nation, demonstrating cultural sensitivity and international awareness. The guest lists for state banquets reflect careful diplomatic considerations. Beyond the visiting heads of state and their delegations, invitations extend to British government officials, business leaders, cultural figures, and representatives from relevant charitable organizations. These gatherings provide opportunities for relationship building that extends far beyond formal diplomatic channels. Conversations at state banquets can influence international trade relationships, cultural exchanges, and collaborative efforts on global challenges. Royal weddings occupy a special place in ceremonial tradition, combining personal celebration with national festivity. Recent royal weddings have demonstrated how these events adapt to changing social attitudes while maintaining their essential ceremonial character. The wedding of the Prince and Princess of Wales in 2011 attracted a global television audience of over 2 billion people, showcasing British pageantry while celebrating a modern royal couple who met at university and conducted a relatively normal courtship. Planning royal weddings involves balancing private family wishes with public expectations and security requirements. Venues must accommodate both intimate family moments and grand ceremonial elements. Westminster Abbey, St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, and other royal venues provide settings that connect new marriages to centuries of royal history. The choice of music, flowers, and ceremonial elements reflects both personal preferences and royal traditions. The economic impact of major royal weddings extends far beyond the immediate costs of the ceremonies themselves. Tourism increases dramatically during wedding periods, with visitors traveling from around the world to experience the celebration atmosphere. Merchandise sales, from commemorative items to replicas of wedding attire, generate substantial economic activity. Broadcasting rights and media coverage create global exposure for British culture and traditions, promoting tourism and cultural exports long after the ceremonies conclude. Investiture ceremonies represent another important aspect of royal ceremonial duty, as the monarch recognizes exceptional service through the honours system. Several times each year, Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle host ceremonies where individuals receive knighthoods, damehoods, and various orders of merit. These events celebrate achievement across all sectors of society, from entertainment and sports to science and public service. The ceremonies follow ancient protocols while recognizing thoroughly contemporary accomplishments. The process of selecting honors recipients involves extensive consultation and review. Government departments nominate individuals for recognition, but the process also includes nominations from the public and various organizations. Selection committees review nominations carefully, ensuring that honors reflect genuine achievement and service rather than political connections or social status. The monarch personally presents most honors, creating personal connections between the crown and citizens who have contributed exceptionally to society. Military ceremonies form another crucial component of royal tradition, reflecting the monarchy's role as head of the armed forces. Trooping the Colour, the monarch's official birthday celebration, combines military precision with royal pageantry. The ceremony originated as a practical military exercise but has evolved into a spectacular display of military tradition and royal celebration. Thousands of spectators gather on the Mall to witness the parade, while millions more watch on television. The preparation for trooping the color requires months of rehearsals and coordination among multiple military units. Guards regiments practice complex drill movements, while mounted units prepare horses for the noise and crowds they will encounter. The ceremony showcases different aspects of British military tradition, from the precision of foot guards to the elegance of mounted cavalry. Weather can present significant challenges, as the outdoor ceremony proceeds regardless of conditions, demonstrating military discipline and royal commitment. Remembrance Day ceremonies hold particular significance in royal tradition, as the monarchy leads national commemoration of those who died in military service. The service at the Cenotaph in Whitehall brings together royal family members, political leaders, military representatives, and veterans organizations. The monarch lays the first wreath, followed by other royals and dignitaries, in a ceremony that emphasizes the nation's gratitude and the monarchy's respect for military sacrifice. The symbolism of Remembrance Day ceremonies extends beyond mere commemoration to embrace themes of national unity, sacrifice, and service. The 2 minute silence observed across the country creates a moment of shared reflection that transcends political and social divisions. Royal participation demonstrates the monarchy's commitment to honoring those who served, while their presence provides continuity with past commemorations and assurance of continuing remembrance. Garden parties at Buckingham Palace and the Palace of Holyrood represent more informal royal ceremonies that still maintain important traditional elements. These events allow the monarch and other royals to meet with thousands of people who have contributed to their communities in various ways. From charitable volunteers to local business leaders, garden party guests represent the full spectrum of British society. The relaxed outdoor setting encourages conversation and personal interaction that formal indoor ceremonies cannot accommodate. The selection process for garden party invitations aims to recognize diverse contributions to community life. Local organizations nominate individuals who have volunteered their time, supported worthy causes, or demonstrated exceptional community spirit. The events celebrate ordinary people doing extraordinary things for others, reinforcing the monarchy's connection to grassroots community life. Royal hosts circulate among guests, stopping for conversations and learning about the various projects and causes represented. Royal garden parties follow established protocols while maintaining their welcoming atmosphere. Guests dress formally but appropriately for outdoor events, creating a distinctive style that balances elegance with practicality. Traditional afternoon tea refreshments feature prominently, including the famous Royal Garden Party cakes. Military bands provide musical entertainment, while the setting among palace gardens creates an atmosphere of relaxed grandeur that characterizes the best of British hospitality. The Order of the Garter ceremony represents one of the oldest and most prestigious royal traditions, dating back to 1348. This annual ceremony at Windsor Castle brings together the monarch with knights and ladies of the order in a spectacular procession through the castle grounds to St. George's Chapel. Participants wear elaborate medieval robes and regalia, creating a vivid connection to centuries of royal and noble tradition. The ceremony attracts international attention while maintaining its essentially private character. Membership in the Order of the Garter represents the highest honor the monarch can bestow, typically recognizing exceptional public service or significant contributions to national life. The limited membership, currently capped at 24 knights and ladies, ensures exclusivity while maintaining the order's prestige. Recent appointments have included former prime ministers, distinguished military leaders, and individuals who have served the crown with particular distinction over many years. The annual state opening of Parliament combines constitutional necessity with ceremonial tradition, as the monarch formally opens each new parliamentary session and delivers the government's legislative agenda. The ceremony involves elaborate processions, historic regalia, and ancient customs that emphasize both the continuity of British democracy and the monarchy's constitutional role. The crown jewels travel from the Tower of London to Westminster for the occasion, demonstrating the ceremony's importance and the respect accorded to parliamentary democracy. Preparation for the state opening involves extensive coordination between palace officials, parliamentary authorities, and government departments. Security arrangements must accommodate both the ceremony's public nature and the presence of senior political figures and foreign diplomats. The speech delivered by the monarch contains the government's legislative priorities for the coming session, requiring careful preparation and review to ensure constitutional appropriateness and political accuracy. Religious ceremonies form another important aspect of royal tradition, reflecting the monarch's role as supreme governor of the Church of England. Regular attendance at services, participation in major Christian festivals, and support for interfaith dialogue demonstrate the monarchy's commitment to both established religion and religious freedom. Royal chapels host regular services that combine spiritual worship with ceremonial tradition, creating sacred spaces within the broader context of royal duty. The Christmas Day service at Sandringham represents perhaps the most widely observed royal religious tradition, as television cameras capture the royal family walking to and from church on Christmas morning. This annual tradition demonstrates royal commitment to Christian faith while providing an intimate glimpse of family life. The informal interaction with well-wishers who gather outside the church creates moments of genuine personal connection that humanize the monarchy. Ceremonial traditions continue evolving as they adapt to contemporary contexts and changing social expectations. Environmental considerations increasingly influence ceremonial planning, from sustainable catering choices to reduced travel requirements. Technology enhances accessibility through live streaming and virtual participation options, allowing global audiences to experience royal ceremonies. These adaptations ensure that traditions remain relevant and inclusive while preserving their essential character and historical significance. The first rays of dawn illuminate the windows of Buckingham Palace as staff members begin their daily preparations for another day of royal duties. Behind the magnificent facades and public ceremonies lies a complex world of professional expertise, careful planning, and dedicated service that makes royal public life possible. The royal households employ hundreds of people across multiple disciplines, from traditional roles that have existed for centuries to modern positions that reflect contemporary needs. Understanding how these households function provides insight into the remarkable logistics required to support the monarchy's public service mission. The structure of royal households reflects both historical precedent and practical necessity. Each senior royal maintains their own household staff, though coordination among households ensures efficiency and prevents duplication of effort. The monarch's household, based primarily at Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle, serves as the central coordinating body for royal activities. The private secretary's office manages the monarch's official program, correspondence, and constitutional duties. This office serves as the primary interface between the Crown and government, ensuring that royal activities support rather than conflict with governmental policies. Daily life within the royal households follows carefully established routines that balance efficiency with the flexibility required for royal duties. Morning briefings review the day's schedule, potential challenges, and coordination requirements. Staff members receive detailed information about each event, including backgrounds on people the royals will meet, relevant current issues, and cultural or protocol considerations. These briefings ensure that royals arrive well-informed and prepared for meaningful interactions with the people they meet. The equerry system represents one of the most distinctive aspects of royal household organization. Equerries, typically military officers on temporary assignment, serve as personal assistants and advisors to senior royals. They accompany royals to engagements, manage logistics, and provide discreet assistance during public appearances. The position requires exceptional organizational skills, cultural sensitivity, and the ability to anticipate needs before they arise. Equerries often develop close working relationships with their principals, becoming trusted advisors as well as efficient assistants. Communication management has evolved dramatically within royal households, reflecting changes in media landscape and public expectations. Press secretaries and communication directors work constantly to manage information flow, coordinate media coverage, and respond to public inquiries. They must balance transparency with privacy, ensuring that the public receives appropriate information about royal activities while protecting personal and security-sensitive details. Social media has added new dimensions to this work, requiring expertise in digital platforms and online engagement strategies. The logistics of royal travel illustrate the complexity of modern royal household operations. Advance teams visit locations weeks before royal visits, assessing security requirements, transportation needs, and accommodation standards. They work closely with local authorities, host organizations, and security agencies to ensure smooth execution of planned activities. Travel arrangements must account for multiple contingencies, from weather disruptions to security threats, requiring backup plans and alternative options for every aspect of royal visits. Security considerations pervade every aspect of royal household operations, though the specific arrangements remain confidential for obvious reasons. Protection officers work closely with household staff to ensure that security measures integrate seamlessly with royal duties and do not unnecessarily restrict royal interactions with the public. The challenge involves maintaining appropriate security while preserving the accessibility that makes royal public service effective. Modern security approaches emphasize risk assessment and graduated responses rather than blanket restrictions. The royal collection management represents another crucial household function, as palaces house priceless artwork, historical artifacts, and cultural treasures. Curators, conservators, and collection managers ensure that these items remain in excellent condition while remaining accessible for appropriate occasions. State banquets, investitures, and receptions provide opportunities to display different pieces from the collection, creating memorable settings while sharing cultural heritage with visitors from around the world. Catering operations within royal households must meet exceptionally high standards while accommodating diverse dietary requirements and cultural preferences. Royal chefs train extensively in both traditional British cuisine and international cooking styles, ensuring appropriate menus for various occasions and guests. Garden parties might require catering for thousands of people, while intimate dinners demand restaurant-quality presentation and service. Sustainability considerations increasingly influence menu planning, with emphasis on local sourcing, seasonal ingredients, and reduced environmental impact. The master of the household coordinates domestic operations across royal residences, ensuring that properties maintain the highest standards of presentation and functionality. This role encompasses everything from housekeeping and maintenance to garden management and facility improvements. Royal residences must function simultaneously as private homes, working offices, and venues for major public events. The maintenance requirements for these historic properties present ongoing challenges, as preservation needs must be balanced with modern functionality and accessibility requirements. Technology integration within royal households represents an ongoing adaptation process, as traditional operations incorporate digital tools and modern communication systems. Computer networks, database management, and digital security measures support administrative functions while preserving confidentiality and security. Royal households have embraced video conferencing, digital scheduling, and electronic communication while maintaining appropriate protocols and security safeguards. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated many technological adoptions, demonstrating the household's ability to adapt quickly when circumstances require. Staff training and development within royal households emphasize both technical competence and cultural understanding. New employees receive comprehensive orientations covering royal protocols, security procedures, and the historical context of their roles. Ongoing professional development ensures that staff members stay current with best practices in their fields while understanding how their work contributes to the monarchy's broader mission. Career progression opportunities exist within household structures, allowing dedicated staff members to advance their responsibilities and expertise. The coordination of royal diaries represents one of the most complex logistical challenges facing household staff. Senior royals maintain busy schedules months in advance, requiring careful coordination to avoid conflicts and ensure appropriate geographic distribution of visits. School terms, parliamentary schedules, and family commitments all influence diary planning. International travel requires additional coordination with foreign governments and security agencies. Changes to planned schedules can create cascading effects requiring extensive rescheduling and communication with affected organizations. Gift management presents unique challenges for royal households, as royals receive thousands of presents annually from well-wishers around the world. Household staff must acknowledge gifts appropriately, ensure security screening, and maintain records of significant items. Many gifts find their way to charitable auctions or appropriate organizations, while others join royal collections or serve functional purposes within households. Cultural sensitivity is crucial when handling gifts from different countries and communities, ensuring appropriate respect for donors while following security and practical protocols. The role of ladies-in-waiting represents one of the most traditional aspects of royal household organization, though the position has evolved significantly over time. These positions, traditionally held by women from aristocratic families, now focus primarily on supporting the female members of the royal family during public engagements. Ladies-in-waiting provide practical assistance, maintain conversation with guests, and help ensure smooth execution of public events. The role requires discretion, social skills, and deep understanding of royal protocols and expectations. Property management across the royal estate involves coordinating activities at numerous residences, each with distinct functions and requirements. Buckingham Palace serves as the administrative center and venue for major ceremonies, while Windsor Castle provides weekend accommodation and houses important ceremonies like the Order of the Garter. Sandringham and Balmoral offer private family retreats while also hosting official visitors and supporting local communities. Each property requires specialized staff and management approaches appropriate to its functions and historical significance. Environmental sustainability has become increasingly important within royal household operations, reflecting both public expectations and royal commitment to environmental protection. Energy efficiency improvements, waste reduction programs, and sustainable sourcing policies demonstrate practical commitment to environmental responsibility. Royal gardens increasingly feature native plants and wildlife-friendly landscaping, while catering operations emphasize local and organic ingredients where possible. These initiatives serve as models for other large organizations while reinforcing royal environmental advocacy. The coordination of charitable work represents another crucial household function, as senior royals serve as patrons for hundreds of organizations. Household staff maintain relationships with these organizations, coordinate royal visits and support, and help maximize the impact of royal patronage. This work requires understanding diverse charitable sectors, from healthcare and education to environmental conservation and social services. Staff members often develop expertise in specific areas, becoming valuable resources for both royal principals and charitable partners. Record-keeping and archive management within royal households preserve important historical information while supporting current operations. Royal archives contain correspondence, photographs, official documents, and other materials that document both royal history and broader British social development. Digital preservation efforts ensure that these materials remain accessible for future generations while meeting current research and administrative needs. The balance between historical preservation and operational efficiency requires ongoing attention and resource allocation. International protocol expertise has become increasingly important as royal households coordinate more frequent overseas visits and host visitors from diverse cultural backgrounds. Staff members must understand diplomatic customs, cultural sensitivities, and appropriate etiquette for different contexts. This expertise extends beyond formal ceremonies to include gift selection, menu planning, entertainment choices, and conversation topics. Successful international engagement requires cultural competence that goes far beyond basic politeness to demonstrate genuine respect and understanding. The integration of younger royals into household operations presents both opportunities and challenges for established systems. Younger family members often bring fresh perspectives on communication, technology use, and public engagement approaches. However, they must also learn traditional protocols and understand the historical context that shapes royal activities. Household staff play crucial roles in this education process, helping younger royals develop the skills and knowledge needed for effective public service. Financial management within royal households requires balancing public accountability with operational efficiency. Household budgets must demonstrate value for money while ensuring that royal duties are performed to appropriate standards. Transparency requirements mean that major expenditures face public scrutiny, requiring careful justification and documentation. Staff members must understand both practical operational needs and public expectations regarding royal expenditure, balancing efficiency with the ceremonial requirements that are central to royal public service. Crisis management capabilities within royal households have been tested repeatedly, from personal family challenges to global events like the COVID-19 pandemic. Household staff must be prepared to adapt quickly to changing circumstances while maintaining essential royal functions. Communication strategies, security protocols, and operational procedures all require flexibility and contingency planning. The ability to respond effectively to unexpected events while maintaining public confidence represents one of the most demanding aspects of royal household management. The future development of royal household operations continues evolving as the monarchy adapts to changing public expectations and technological opportunities. Younger staff members bring digital expertise and contemporary perspectives while learning from experienced colleagues who understand traditional protocols and historical context. This generational transition ensures continuity while enabling innovation and adaptation to contemporary circumstances. The warmth of genuine compassion radiates from the Princess of Wales as she kneels beside a young patient in the children's hospital ward, her presence bringing comfort during a difficult time. This scene, replicated countless times across Britain and the Commonwealth, represents the essence of modern royal service through charitable work and community engagement. Royal patronage has evolved from ceremonial endorsement to active advocacy, transforming how the monarchy serves society and demonstrating the profound impact that dedicated public service can achieve when combined with privilege and platform. The system of royal patronage operates as one of the most significant ways the royal family contributes to British society, with senior royals serving as patrons for over 3,000 organizations. These relationships extend far beyond mere name lending to encompass genuine engagement, fundraising support, and advocacy for causes that might otherwise struggle for attention and resources. The Princess of Wales alone serves as patron for over 20 organizations, ranging from children's charities to mental health initiatives, each receiving substantial time and personal involvement rather than purely ceremonial support. Selecting patronages requires careful consideration of personal interests, social needs, and the potential for meaningful contribution. Royal family members typically choose causes that resonate with their personal experiences and values while ensuring broad coverage of societal needs. The Prince of Wales has long championed environmental conservation and sustainable agriculture, building expertise that allows him to contribute substantively to policy discussions and public awareness campaigns. The Princess of Wales focuses heavily on early childhood development, drawing on both personal experience as a mother and professional research to advocate for policies that support young families. The impact of royal patronage extends far beyond the immediate organizations involved, creating ripple effects throughout entire charitable sectors. When a senior royal becomes associated with a particular cause, it typically elevates public awareness, increases media coverage, and attracts additional funding from both individual donors and corporate sponsors. Mental health awareness provides an excellent example of this phenomenon, as royal advocacy has helped transform public attitudes towards psychological well-being and reduced stigma surrounding mental health treatment. Royal visits to charitable organizations follow carefully planned formats designed to maximize benefit for both the organization and the people they serve. Advance teams work closely with charity staff to identify priorities, highlight successful programs, and ensure that royal presence enhances rather than disrupts normal operations. These visits often include meetings with service users, staff recognition events, and opportunities to launch new initiatives or announce significant funding. The preparation process itself can strengthen organizations by encouraging self-reflection, strategic planning, and community engagement. The fundraising impact of royal involvement can be transformational for charitable organizations. Royal attendance at gala dinners, charity auctions, and fundraising events typically increases both attendance and donation levels significantly. The presence of royals attracts high-profile guests, corporate sponsors, and media coverage that can multiply fundraising outcomes far beyond what organizations could achieve independently. However, this influence comes with responsibilities to ensure that funds are used effectively and that royal association continues to reflect positively on both the monarchy and the causes involved. Documentary evidence demonstrates the tangible outcomes of royal charitable involvement across multiple sectors. Children's hospices report increased referrals and expanded services following royal visits and ongoing support. Mental health organizations cite royal advocacy as crucial factors in securing policy changes and increased funding from government sources. Environmental charities note that royal patronage helps legitimize their work and opens doors to corporate partnerships and political influence that would otherwise remain closed. The international dimension of royal charitable work extends British influence and values across the Commonwealth and beyond. Royal visits to overseas charitable projects demonstrate Britain's commitment to international development and humanitarian assistance. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's visits to organizations supporting vulnerable populations in various countries showcase British values while building diplomatic relationships and encouraging international cooperation on shared challenges. Royal charitable work increasingly emphasizes collaboration and partnership rather than purely individual effort. Joint initiatives among multiple royal family members can address complex social issues that require sustained attention and diverse expertise. The mental health campaign spearheaded by several younger royals demonstrates how collaborative royal advocacy can create momentum for social change that transcends individual charitable relationships and influences national policy discussions. The professionalization of royal charitable engagement has transformed how these relationships operate, with specialized staff members managing patronage relationships and ensuring effective coordination between royal schedules and organizational needs. Private secretaries work closely with charity leaders to develop multi-year engagement strategies that provide sustained support rather than sporadic attention. This systematic approach maximizes the benefit for charitable organizations while ensuring efficient use of royal time and energy. Evidence-based approaches increasingly influence royal charitable work, with emphasis on measurable outcomes and demonstrated impact. Royals receive regular briefings on the performance and achievements of their patronage organizations, ensuring informed advocacy and appropriate allocation of time and attention. This data-driven approach helps identify successful programs worth expanded support while recognizing areas where different approaches might prove more effective. The evolution of royal charitable communication demonstrates adaptation to contemporary media landscapes and public expectations. Traditional charity visits now incorporate social media documentation, behind-the-scenes content, and direct communication with supporters and beneficiaries. Royal social media accounts highlight charitable work regularly, sharing stories of impact and encouraging public engagement with supported organizations. This direct communication bypasses traditional media filters while providing authentic insights into royal charitable priorities and achievements. Personal stories and individual experiences drive much royal charitable engagement, reflecting genuine emotional connections rather than purely strategic considerations. The Princess of Wales's advocacy for addiction recovery services stems partly from personal loss, while royal support for military veterans reflects family military traditions and personal relationships with service personnel. These authentic connections enhance the credibility and effectiveness of royal advocacy while demonstrating the human side of royal public service. The training and preparation required for effective charitable engagement extends far beyond basic protocol instruction to include substantive education about complex social issues. Royal family members study poverty, homelessness, mental health, environmental degradation, and other challenges in considerable depth, often consulting with leading experts and researchers. This preparation enables informed conversations with charity workers and service users while ensuring that royal advocacy is grounded in accurate understanding rather than superficial awareness. Royal charitable work often serves as a bridge between different sectors of society, bringing together government officials, business leaders, academic researchers, and grassroots activists around shared concerns. Royal events create neutral spaces where diverse stakeholders can collaborate on solutions to complex social problems. The convening power of royal patronage can break down institutional barriers and facilitate partnerships that might not develop through normal channels. The recognition and awards system connected to royal charitable work provides additional mechanisms for supporting social good beyond direct patronage relationships. Royal honors recognize outstanding charitable service across all sectors of society, from individual volunteers to organizational leaders who have demonstrated exceptional commitment to helping others. These recognition programs encourage excellence in charitable work while providing platforms for sharing successful approaches and innovative solutions. Crisis response capabilities represent another crucial aspect of royal charitable engagement, as royal family members frequently serve as focal points for national solidarity during emergencies and disasters. Royal visits to areas affected by flooding, terrorism, or other crises provide comfort to victims while demonstrating national unity and resolve. The coordination between royal households and emergency services ensures that these visits support rather than complicate relief efforts. Youth engagement initiatives form an increasingly important component of royal charitable work, reflecting recognition that sustainable social progress requires investment in younger generations. Royal mentorship programs, youth leadership development initiatives, and support for young entrepreneurs demonstrate commitment to empowering future leaders while addressing contemporary challenges facing young people. These programs often emphasize practical skills development alongside traditional educational achievement. The measurement and evaluation of royal charitable impact presents ongoing challenges, as the influence of royal involvement can be difficult to separate from other factors affecting organizational success. However, systematic tracking of key indicators such as fundraising levels, service expansion, policy changes, and public awareness measures provides evidence of substantial positive impact across multiple charitable sectors. Organizations consistently report that royal patronage enhances their ability to fulfill their missions and serve their beneficiaries effectively. Environmental sustainability considerations increasingly influence royal charitable engagement, with emphasis on supporting organizations that demonstrate environmental responsibility and promote sustainable practices. Royal patronage of environmental organizations has expanded significantly, reflecting both personal commitment and public expectations regarding environmental leadership. These relationships often involve technical expertise and policy advocacy rather than purely ceremonial support. The global reach of royal charitable influence extends through Commonwealth connections, international organizations, and humanitarian partnerships that transcend national boundaries. Royal involvement with organizations addressing global challenges such as climate change, poverty, and disease demonstrates British commitment to international cooperation while leveraging royal influence for worldwide benefit. These relationships often facilitate diplomatic and cultural exchanges that strengthen international relationships. Technology adoption within royal charitable engagement reflects broader social trends toward digital communication and virtual interaction. Online platforms enable royal family members to maintain connections with charitable organizations and beneficiaries even when physical visits are not possible. Virtual fundraising events, digital advocacy campaigns, and online recognition programs expand the reach and accessibility of royal charitable work while adapting to contemporary communication preferences. The integration of research and evidence into royal charitable advocacy ensures that royal influence supports effective interventions rather than merely popular causes. Royal family members regularly consult with academic researchers, policy experts, and frontline practitioners to understand best practices and emerging challenges in their areas of focus. This evidence-based approach enhances the credibility and impact of royal advocacy while contributing to broader knowledge development. Cultural competence and sensitivity have become increasingly important as royal charitable work engages with diverse communities and international organizations. Royal family members receive extensive briefings on cultural considerations, religious practices, and social customs relevant to their charitable engagements. This preparation ensures respectful interaction while demonstrating genuine appreciation for diversity and inclusion within British society. The future development of royal charitable work continues evolving as new challenges emerge and social attitudes change. Climate change, digital inequality, aging populations, and global health challenges present opportunities for royal leadership and advocacy. The flexibility and adaptability demonstrated by royal charitable engagement suggest continued relevance and impact as the monarchy adapts its service mission to meet contemporary needs while preserving traditional values of service and compassion. The young Prince George waves enthusiastically from the Buckingham Palace balcony as thousands of well-wishers cheer below, representing both continuity and change in an institution that has survived and thrived through centuries of social transformation. As the monarchy looks toward the future, questions of relevance, adaptation, and constitutional role become increasingly complex, requiring careful balance between preserving valuable traditions and meeting evolving public expectations. The future of the British royal family depends not on maintaining static customs but on demonstrating continued capacity for meaningful service and positive social contribution. Public opinion research reveals complex attitudes toward the monarchy that vary significantly across demographic groups, geographic regions, and political affiliations. Younger generations express more skeptical views about inherited privilege while still appreciating individual royals who demonstrate genuine commitment to public service. The challenge facing the institution involves maintaining support across diverse constituencies while adapting to changing social values and expectations. Regular polling data indicates that public support correlates strongly with perceptions of royal work ethic, charitable commitment, and personal conduct rather than purely traditional deference to inherited status. The constitutional role of the monarchy continues evolving as British democracy matures and political circumstances change. The monarch's reserve powers, though rarely exercised, provide important constitutional safeguards during periods of political uncertainty or crisis. However, the practical application of these powers requires extraordinary sensitivity to democratic principles and public opinion. Recent political developments, including challenges to parliamentary sovereignty and questions about governmental legitimacy, have highlighted the continuing importance of constitutional monarchy as a stabilizing force within democratic institutions. International comparisons provide valuable perspectives on monarchical adaptation and survival strategies across different cultural and political contexts. European monarchies that have successfully modernized share common characteristics including transparency about royal finances, emphasis on public service, and adaptation to contemporary communication methods. The Dutch, Danish, and Swedish royal families have maintained public support through systematic modernization efforts while preserving core ceremonial and constitutional functions. These examples suggest potential pathways for continued British monarchical evolution. The integration of environmental advocacy into royal identity represents one significant adaptation to contemporary concerns and values. Climate change and environmental degradation present challenges that transcend national boundaries and traditional political divisions, creating opportunities for royal leadership that builds on existing charitable work while addressing urgent global needs. The Prince of Wales has demonstrated how sustained environmental advocacy can enhance rather than diminish royal relevance, particularly among younger demographics who prioritize environmental issues. Technology adoption within royal communications and public engagement continues transforming how the monarchy connects with public audiences and maintains institutional relevance. Social media platforms enable direct communication that bypasses traditional media filters while creating new opportunities for public engagement and relationship building. However, digital communication also presents challenges including increased scrutiny, accelerated news cycles, and reduced control over message framing. The balance between accessibility and dignity requires ongoing calibration as technology continues evolving. Commonwealth relationships present both opportunities and challenges for future monarchical development, as member nations reassess their connections to Britain and the Crown. Republican movements in several Commonwealth countries reflect changing attitudes about colonial history and contemporary governance structures. However, other nations value Commonwealth connections and appreciate royal visits and cultural exchanges. The future Commonwealth role may involve less formal constitutional connection but continued emphasis on shared values, cultural exchange, and collaborative approaches to global challenges. Economic considerations increasingly influence discussions about monarchical future, as public spending faces scrutiny during periods of economic pressure and social inequality. The sovereign grant system provides greater transparency about royal funding while linking royal income to broader economic performance. However, questions about value for money and appropriate expenditure levels continue generating debate. The monarchy's economic impact through tourism, cultural exports, and international trade promotion provides justification for continued public investment while highlighting the need for measurable benefits. Succession planning involves both constitutional requirements and practical considerations about preparing future monarchs for contemporary challenges and expectations. The Prince of Wales's extensive preparation for kingship, including decades of charitable work and public service, provides a model for future succession processes. However, changing public expectations and social contexts may require different approaches to royal preparation and training. The education and development of younger royals reflects evolving ideas about appropriate preparation for public service roles. Cultural diversity and inclusion present ongoing challenges and opportunities for monarchical evolution, as British society becomes increasingly multicultural and globally connected. Royal engagement with diverse communities and support for inclusive values demonstrates institutional adaptation to contemporary British identity. However, historical associations with colonialism and empire require ongoing sensitivity and acknowledgement. The future monarchy may need to engage more systematically with Britain's complex imperial legacy while celebrating contemporary diversity and achievement. The role of royal women continues evolving as gender equality becomes more embedded in social expectations and legal frameworks. Female members of the royal family increasingly take prominent roles in charitable work, public advocacy, and international representation. Changes to succession law ensuring gender equality demonstrate institutional adaptation to contemporary values. The future may see continued expansion of women's roles within royal institutions and greater emphasis on issues particularly affecting women and girls. Youth engagement strategies become increasingly important as the monarchy seeks to maintain relevance among younger demographics who express different attitudes toward traditional institutions and inherited privilege. Royal youth programs, educational initiatives, and support for young entrepreneurs demonstrate commitment to empowering future leaders while building relationships with upcoming generations. Social media engagement, contemporary causes, and informal communication styles help bridge generational divides while maintaining institutional dignity. Crisis management capabilities continue proving essential as royal institutions face various challenges including personal scandals, security threats, and political upheavals. The monarchy's ability to respond effectively to crises while maintaining public confidence requires sophisticated communication strategies, transparent procedures, and commitment to accountability. Recent experiences demonstrate both vulnerabilities and resilience within royal institutions, suggesting areas for continued development and improvement. Regional variations in monarchical support across the United Kingdom present ongoing constitutional and political challenges, particularly regarding Scottish and Northern Irish attitudes toward the Union and royal institutions. Independence movements in Scotland and reunification discussions in Northern Ireland create potential constitutional crises that could affect monarchical role and relevance. The future monarchy may need to navigate complex relationships with devolved governments and evolving national identities within the United Kingdom. International diplomatic roles provide continuing justification for monarchical institutions as Britain seeks to maintain global influence despite reduced economic and political power. Royal visits, state occasions, and cultural diplomacy create opportunities for relationship building that complement formal governmental diplomacy. The soft power generated through royal engagement can support trade relationships, cultural exchanges, and international cooperation that benefit British interests while promoting global stability and cooperation. Educational initiatives and cultural programs sponsored by royal institutions contribute to national intellectual and artistic life while demonstrating contemporary relevance beyond purely ceremonial functions. The Prince's Trust, Duke of Edinburgh Award Scheme, and various educational charities show how royal leadership can address social challenges while building human capital and social cohesion. Future development of these programs may provide models for expanded royal social contribution. The balance between privacy and publicity continues challenging royal institutions as media technology and public expectations evolve. Younger royals seek more normal personal lives while fulfilling public duties, requiring careful management of media access and personal boundaries. The future monarchy may need to develop new approaches to privacy protection while maintaining appropriate transparency and public access. Lessons from tragic experiences with media intrusion inform current approaches while highlighting ongoing vulnerabilities. Charitable sector evolution affects royal patronage systems as organizations adapt to changing funding environments, technological capabilities, and social needs. Royal patronage must evolve alongside charitable sector development to maintain effectiveness and relevance. Future patronage relationships may involve different structures, measurement systems, and collaborative approaches that reflect contemporary best practices in charitable management and social intervention. Political neutrality requirements become increasingly complex as political polarization increases and social issues become more politically contentious. Royal family members must navigate carefully between demonstrating social concern and avoiding political partisanship, particularly regarding issues such as immigration, economic inequality, and cultural change. The future monarchy will likely face continued pressure to address social problems while maintaining constitutional neutrality and political independence. Constitutional reform discussions periodically resurface regarding potential changes to monarchical role, powers, and procedures. Republican sentiment, though limited,
persists among certain political groups and demographic segments.
The monarchy's future may depend partly on its ability to demonstrate continued constitutional value and democratic compatibility while adapting to changing political circumstances and public expectations.
Flexibility and responsiveness to legitimate criticism may prove essential for institutional survival.
Global governance challenges present opportunities for royal leadership on issues that transcend national boundaries and partisan political divisions. Climate change, international development, cultural preservation, and humanitarian assistance provide platforms for royal engagement that builds on traditional charitable work while addressing contemporary global challenges. The future monarchy may find increasing relevance through international leadership on shared human concerns. The measurement and evaluation of royal effectiveness become increasingly important as public institutions face demands for accountability and demonstrated value. Future monarchical institutions may need to develop more sophisticated metrics for assessing their social contribution, public support, and institutional performance. Transparency about goals, activities, and outcomes could enhance public understanding and support while identifying areas for improvement and development. The ultimate question facing the British monarchy involves its ability to continue serving meaningful purposes that justify its privileged position within democratic society. Public service, charitable contribution, constitutional stability, cultural preservation, and international representation provide potential justifications for continued monarchical existence. However, these benefits must be demonstrable, sustainable, and compatible with evolving democratic values and social expectations. The future monarchy will likely succeed to the extent that it can prove its continued relevance and positive contribution to British and international life while adapting gracefully to changing circumstances and maintaining the dignity and service tradition that have characterized its finest moments throughout history. The path forward requires neither uncritical acceptance nor reflexive rejection of monarchical institutions, but thoughtful evaluation of how these ancient institutions can contribute positively to contemporary and future challenges. Success will depend on the wisdom, dedication, and adaptability of individual royal family members as well as the broader institutional capacity for evolution and renewal. The conversation about monarchical future must involve all segments of British society in democratic dialogue about shared values, institutional purposes, and national identity in an increasingly complex and interconnected world.